second in my bag. Yeah, second in my bag. I like crypto grind. Currency's flowing, every coins on my mind. My coin base the upper, watch your numbers climb. In this damn fine, feeling so prime. Hustling these protocols, phones in the van. Emptying out my radar, I can't understand. Jumping on the wave, watch me move the plan. Holding diamond hands in this crypto land. Got my eyes on the prize, making moves like a king. Every transaction here, cash registers ring. Ride the blockchain, we won't never be slow. In the world of finance, let's the profit.
If you're holding real world assets, utility assets, you are a bank.
Yeah, of course, we go over the news and stuff, but we just do what feels natural when we be doing our thing.
We gotta get this money on. Yeah, we back.
We back. What's good?
What up, everybody? What up? What's good, Mike? What up? What's good, Denise? She says she's so excited for what's coming. Absolutely. I'm excited too. I'm very excited.
Gotta be. I'm
very excited. This is gonna be a huge year, man. So y'all go ahead and come in. We got some updates and stuff to go over. We're gonna talk about these digital IDs and CBDCs. We gotta talk about that because they're saying that it's risk turning the US into a surveillance state. So what the people gonna do about it? we fighting back, or we just gonna let it happen? We just gonna fuss about it, bitch about it, and just let it happen, or we're gonna do something about it. So we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about wallets becoming the default front door to global payments. Wallets. Listen, bank accounts, digital wallets putting y'all on notice, gang. Digital wallets putting y'all on notice. It's about to be a wrap for the bank accounts. I ain't even gonna hold you. It's about to be a wrap for the bank accounts. Some shit's about to be like paper checks here in a second. So yeah, we gotta talk about that today. We also gonna talk about Flare, a little bit of Flare today, because I need people to understand Flare Network, and you know how important that platform is. And then we're going to talk about also why smart CFOs are rethinking how money moves. And then we have an article talking about how 1 in 3 young adults turn to friends and families as costs rise. And then we got to talk about MicroStrategy stock faces January 15th MCSI index deadline after 50% drop in 2025. What's in 2026. So we're gonna talk about that as well. I got a clip to play of Scott Bessent. He's the Treasury Secretary. He said bigger economic gains are coming in 2026. And he basically said, 2025 is setting the table. The feast and banquet will be in 2026. So we're gonna play that clip, man, because he sounds bullish. That's your Treasury Secretary. He sounds bullish. I know these people be full of shit, but I ain't never heard them talk bullish like this before, though. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm gonna play that clip for y'all. So yeah, we got a couple goodies to go over. So man, y'all tap the screen. Let's run the likes up. We only at 1.5K on TikTok. That's crazy. I also want to share some analytics. While y'all running the likes up, I want to share some analytics. I meant to go over this earlier, but I had to get that topic out of the way that's got everybody in a frenzy. I wanted to talk about that earlier. I had to address that, but. Listen, let me tell you. I got some end of the year analytics for TikTok. Shout out to TikTok, gang. If you're a content creator or you want to be a content creator, I'm gonna always say go to TikTok first. Go to TikTok first, build your following, and expand from there. You know what I'm saying? But TikTok is mandatory. Then go to Instagram. Then go to YouTube. You know what I'm saying? You could do all of them at the same time, but TikTok is your priority. I'm telling you. Because that's how we built our following and built everything that we have now. Literally TikTok. So let's go over some analytics real quick. So overall, this is just based off of my page, but I like to call it me and D page these days at this point because we both be on here. So this is what the analytics were. So we had the most popular live in 2025. The most popular live in 2025 was on January 27th. Everybody came into 2025 very, very bullish. We had a great 2024 because November, December, and early January was spectacular, especially for XRP holders and people who hold utility assets. So that explains why that was the most popular live in 2025. That live had 105.7K likes. It had 4,446 views on that live. So that was our biggest live, was January 27, 2025. So now we got our top gifter. I want to shout out ATO Ando. I don't know if I'm saying your name right, but it's spelled ATO_ANDOH. He sent 26K coins and gifts last year. He was the top giver, or she. I'm sorry, he or she was the top gifter last year. So we appreciate y'all. Me and D appreciate y'all very much.
What's the name?
ATO_ANDOH. I don't know how to pronounce it. So
okay, shout out. Nah, that's love. That's love, fam. That's love.
And then I want to shout out Danny. She was a top commenter for 2025. Danny had 6,186 comments. Shout out to Danny. Danny in the chat right now. Danny, thank you so much for the support, man. We appreciate you so much. Thank you so much.
Damn.
Yeah.
Danny. Yeah. Nah, that's
shout
a fact.
out to Danny.
That's a fact.
The top viewer was BlockNation, but that's because me and D was going live from the live from the BlockNation page. So I feel bad for that. But I want to say, if I had to say who the top viewer was, I would probably say it would be between. I don't want to get mad. I don't want y'all to get mad at me. Y'all go like, no, Queen, I'm on every live.
Yeah.
I don't miss that many lives. It's a lot of y'all, gang. It's a lot of y'all. So I hate that you can't really see who the top viewer was, but I know it's people that we see in the chat. I see y'all names and stuff all the time. I don't want to act like I'm playing favorite, so I'm not even gonna call out no names, but I see y'all. I see y'all for sure. D see you too. You see him, D? D actually know better than me. He be remembering way more people than I do. I'm not good with remembering people, but D remembers, and then I'll be like, oh yeah. I'll be forgetting. So and then next. So I want to go over this D. This is huge, bro. So we went live with people from 3 different countries last year. But did you know that our viewers came from 214 countries?
Damn, that's crazy.
214 countries. 214. Let's run them
214 countries?
200. Think I'm bullshitting? Straight from TikTok. This was my 2025 recap. You can see it right there at the bottom. Your views. Shoot. Your views.
Damn.
214 countries right there. I know it's a little backwards, but yeah. So our top countries were, of course, the USA, the UK, and Canada. But yeah, we have viewers from 214 countries tuning in. I know it's mad people from Australia, South Africa too. So and then Abu Dhabi, they have people from there as well. I know that was a big number. I can go look at the individual percentages, but 214 countries, but we is global. Make sure when y'all talk shit about us and y'all hating, make sure y'all mention that we're global. Don't leave that out. Yeah. When y'all talking shit, don't leave that out. Okay, 214 countries and counting. So please don't forget to mention that when you're talking shit. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to the people that love us though. Shout out to the people that love us. And last year, me and D, we did 413 live streams. We had 27.8 million likes. I feel like it could have been more. I was hoping we had hit that 30 piece.
So we just shy. We were
just shy of 30 million likes. So now, you know what I'm saying? So 27.8 million likes we got last year. We got 399.6K views. So yeah, I would say BlockNation had a pretty solid year last year. Let's triple it though.
So we get to 100 million likes.
Shout out to the Bahamas.
We got the Bahamas in here.
Somebody from the Bahamas in here. Shout out to Emmy. For sure. Hey, Kevin's World said, God is good. God is amazing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, we appreciate y'all for sure for making this possible, making it worth it to come on here, gang. So wanted to just talk about that, but we still ain't even got the 10K likes. Jesus, what we doing?
Y'all wilding.
Come on now, y'all.
Come on, we set a new standard.
Yeah, that just tells me how underrated we are in the space overall. But in my mind, me and D is the shit. So
No, we are, because we are.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
And
we keep it 100. We keep it 100. We get on here, keep it 100. We give y'all the latest news every day, right? Like
we
shit that
consistent.
we was just on here earlier talking about stuff, and we was just like scouring the internet trying to find, like, okay, what did we miss, or is there anything that came out, in the past couple of hours? So, we're trying to give you the latest and greatest up here. So, and I know y'all appreciate it. But we are the shit. We are. We are.
You know what I'm saying? Whether they're gonna give us the credit or not, you know what I'm saying? I know we're doing a good job. We're staying consistent. We're just gonna keep getting better though. We can always improve, and we're gonna keep elevating from here.
Absolutely.
And we're gonna have a huge 2026. Everybody in here gonna have a huge 2026. So yeah, with that being said, we got the 13K likes over here on TikTok. Let's keep running it up though. Let's keep double tapping the screen. I'm gonna be truthful with y'all. That was my first time looking at the analytics all year. I did not pay any attention to analytics. That was intentional. I'm a firm believer that if you're consistent, you're doing what God has called you to do, the numbers will be looking for you. You don't got to look for the numbers. And those numbers found me. I wasn't even looking for it. I just happened to get on TikTok to get ready to come on live this morning, and I was checking my DMs, and then I saw the notification about my 2025 recap. And I said, well, let me take a look at this. And that's when I saw that. So I'm just letting y'all know that when you start this content thing for people that's aspiring to, start streaming or become a content creator, don't pay attention to numbers. Be consistent. You know what I'm saying? Only time you need to look at numbers is to see, okay, why did this video get 10 likes and this one only got 2? So what did I do in this video that got more attention? What time did I post? You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing you really need to care about. But when you first starting out, but when you first getting started, just worry about being consistent and just following your calling, because that's all we doing, following our calling. So I'm gonna leave y'all with that. So we're gonna get started. We're gonna get started. But
let's get it going.
So let me share my screen. So yeah, man, we got some articles to go over. So let's talk about these wallets real quick. This was big to me. Hold on. Fix this little
let's go with these
layout
wallets.
right quick. There we go. Wallets. Hold on. Pull it up a little bit. All right, y'all. My bad. My computer's a little delayed, so bear with me. So yeah, digital ID, CBDCs. I'm sorry, no, wrong one. We're on wallets. My bad. Okay. Wallets become the default front door to global payments. So let's talk about it. So in 2025, digital wallets shifted from being just payment tools to becoming central hubs for moving money domestically and across borders. Rather than replacing cards, wallets are increasingly the default interface people use to send, receive, and manage money globally. So what changed in 2025? So at the beginning of 2025, wallets were mostly seen as checkout tools, simple ways to tap and pay. So by the year's end, however, executives and data show wallets were becoming the front door to money movement infrastructure. Instead of just paying for things, wallets began powering real transactions, including peer-to-peer transfers, bills, and and cross-border payments. So wallets aren't just how we pay at checkout anymore. They're becoming how money moves, period. Everywhere people want to send money, that's where wallets win. So data shows that digital wallets now power about 35% of online transactions, handle about 21% of in-store purchases. So across multiple countries representing more than half of global GDP. This isn't limited to the young or tech savvy. Wallet use in the U.S. for cross-border payments is strong among millennial and Gen X users, and even baby boomers and Gen Z use them at similar rates. So people use wallets for convenience at first. Now they use them because they move money better. That's the tipping point. So wallets are more than cards. So unlike traditional credit and debit card wallets, it lets users switch between cards, bank transfers, and stored value instantly. They offer biometric security and faster access. They enable cross-border payments without legacy rails. That means wallets are more than substitutes. They're interfaces that unify multiple financial pathways into one place. Hold on, I'm sorry. Computer is hella delayed. Okay, so a wallet isn't just storage; it's a traffic cap for money, steering payments, transfers, and global flows smoother than cards ever did. So why this matters in 2026? So global payments are becoming wallet first. So the article highlights that wallets are now the go-to method for sending and receiving money around the world, not just buying stuff online. So that's huge for cross-border commerce, remittances, business payments, DeFi, and crypto integration. So by becoming the default front end for payments, wallets cement themselves as the primary interface people interact with for everyday financial activity. If money has a front door, that is where people first touch it. So wallets just became that door globally. So the article and related trends show that wallets are not just about convenience, they're shaping the whole money movement infrastructure. That include faster transactions, identity and security, cross-border reach, embedded services, bill pay, transfers, remittances. So we're not shopping with wallets, we're living through wallets. They now connect everything from personal payments to global transfers. So in 2025, something big happened quietly. Digital wallets didn't just make payments easier, they became the default way the world moves money. So wallets now power a huge chunk of online and in-store transactions, but they're also rapidly becoming a gateway for cross-border payments and global money flows. So man, digital wallets is taking. It's about to be over with for the bank accounts, gangy.
But at least the regular ones, and
at least the normal ones.
I'll use your whoever got their parents or their grandparents or they elders around. I'll use them as the litmus test to see if they know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I always call my mom and be like, yo, or I'll text her and be like, hey, you heard of digital wallets yet, or you heard of this yet? And she'll be like, no. I'll be like, okay, so we getting closer, but we're not fully there. But it's about to be a wrap. It's about to be a wrap. Because once you start getting that your bank, or you go into your bank and they're like, okay, this is what we're doing, or you get them emails from your institutions that you do business with, and they're like, yo, this is what we're doing. We're gonna make it safer. And they're talking about security and sustainability and all this shit like that. You already know. This is for your security, your safety and security.
That's exactly what they're gonna lead with. That's exactly what they're gonna, because they know people scared to lose $1, so they're gonna definitely lead with fear.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, but I can see that's the direction we're going, and that's really pretty much how the crypto and blockchain situation is going to work out. Once banks can move money like seamlessly, it's gonna be because of digital wallets. Won't be able to do it the way we kind of do it now. That's why I said one day we're gonna wake up and most of us are gonna check our banking apps, and you're gonna have a digital wallet feature on that interface. It's gonna be the same interface you have now. Just add a digital wallet to the bottom of it, and it may have USDC, USDT, ROUSD, or whatever. PayPal, PYUSD is gonna be right there, and say, hey, you can transact using this as well. And then next thing you know, people are just slowly but surely, be shifting from your typical checking and savings to digital wallets, especially if that yield feature is gonna be on the stable coins opposed to your regular bank account. People are just going to go that route because they're going to go where they can earn yield, unless the banks are going to offer, they're going to become competitive to the wallet. Then it's like, okay, but I don't see it working that way. I think I don't know how they're going to do it, but talk to the experts. But that's just how I kind of visualize it, because people don't like change, so they have to keep the interface the same. So so people won't be as confused. If you keep the interface the same, it'll be a seamless transition. So we'll see. But that's kind of how I think it's going to look, just to kind of give people a visual of where this is going with the digital wallets.
No, they definitely going to make it palatable and easy for the average person, but you're not going to know what's going on in the back end unless you're doing the research like we are. So
yeah. Like truthfully. So yeah. So let's No, that was some good shit. I'm glad that shout out to Payments for that article, gang. I'm gonna speak into existence. Payments gonna sponsor this channel. We get a lot of articles from there these days. But yeah, let's talk about this other this article you sent about why smart CFOs are rethinking how money moves. I thought that was a goodie.
Yeah. So these CFOs, chief financial officers. So this article talks about it argues that B2B payments are changing fast, so business to business. So for a very long time, companies use slow, old payment methods, especially checks, because that's just how the business, world worked. But now CFOs, all the financial leaders from all these different companies are rethinking payments as something that can improve cash flow, reduce risk, and strengthen suppliers, not just pay the bill. So the core idea here is the shift isn't only faster payments, it's smarter payments. So payments embedded into the system, powered by real-time data, chosen dynamically based on cost, speed, risk, and supplier preference. Why the old system is breaking is because B2B payments stayed outdated because incentives were misaligned. And then buyers like controlling cash, paying later. That's why it takes so long for you to get your check, right? Suppliers tolerated delays, and banks made money from complexity, fees, and all this other shit, right? So, and it notes that as of 2024, roughly 40% of commercial transactions were still tied to checks. It says as of 2024, roughly 40% of commercial transactions were still tied to checks. What
That's them
CFOs want
old
now?
people, man. That's the old folks, gang.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. What CFOs want now is automation. They want better visibility, so they want the real-time status of payments. They want embedded intelligence, so payments that carry data for treasury and forecasting. They want orchestration, choosing the best rail, ACH, wire, real-time payments, virtual cards, etc. And then they want more use of virtual cards and platform-based payments. And then the orchestration, instead of always paying the same way, companies want systems that can decide a virtual card for one supplier, use ACH for another to lower the cost, and use real-time rails when speed matters. Doing that manually is too hard at scale, so companies want software to optimize it. So guys, for my builders out there, for my people that's building, this is still a problem. So if you're able to build some type of system or software to help some of these companies or these CFOs, that could be a bag for you, right? If you're in that lane, if you're in that vein, I'm just saying. I know we got a couple builders in here. So another big theme is integration and data governance. So the article also stresses that modern payment strategy depends on integrating payments into ERP and workflows, consolidating payment data, and then strong governance so that data can actually be used for decisions. And then why checks are dying is because many younger workers don't even know how to write a check. And that's a fact.
They don't know how to write checks, but they can stop bullshitting. If they don't go ahead and say we sick of y'all scamming the bank and doing fraud, that's why they get rid. They just want to get rid of them.
Yeah.
It sounds good though, but that is true. That is true.
That's true.
The younger generation doesn't know how to write a check. They don't teach you that in school. So hell, I halfway know how to write a check. I got to call my mama just make sure I'm doing it. I'm 32. I don't write checks like that. So I'm so glad, everything I do as far as my house and stuff is online.
Right.
I can't all that check stuff, man. If y'all don't got electronic thing, y'all shouldn't even, have no apartment buildings. What is y'all doing? Why the hell we still bringing checks and money orders in this book? I'm good.
Paper, just more paper.
Yeah.
And yet a big chunk of business to business still runs on checks. Like I said, 40%, right? And then how stablecoins and crypto can help.
Maya said they can't even write.
Damn.
Hey, don't talk about the children of the future, gang.
I mean,
I just saw that.
I mean, she not lying though.
She not lying. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. It's not funny, y'all. It's not funny. It's funny, but god damn, it's true.
They can't talk
that
for
shit's sad.
They
can't talk, can't write, can't read. Reading levels is horrible. Oh my god, gang!
Everything's an abbreviation. Everything's an abbreviation, fam. Like that shit is wild.
That's why sometimes with my younger cousins, but the ones that's in their late teens or early 20s, be texting me or writing me on Instagram. Yeah. I'm like, you need to spell the damn word out. What are you saying? I don't know what this means.
Yeah.
Abbreviate everything.
IKR. I'm like,
yeah.
What is this?
They be like ASH. I'll be like, Ash, what y'all saying about? Oh, as hell.
Yeah.
It means as hell. Okay, I'm sorry. That shit was funny because these kids is hilarious. I'm sorry.
Nah, it's crazy. Nah, it's crazy, fam.
Yeah,
It's
no, that
crazy.
was
Nah,
funny.
nah,
That's true though. That's true.
Yeah,
You
that's
can
why
keep going.
that's why they took shit out of the school system. That's why they took certain shit out, because it just didn't apply no more. It just
And
didn't
then
apply no more.
they just let them pass because no child left behind.
Oh yeah.
They just let them pass. They just this is where it was going to. That's why they told them back in the day not to pass that no child left behind shit, or we was gonna end up with dumb kids. And that shit is happening in real time. I'm just saying. But but yeah, we can keep going. I'm sorry.
Nah. So basically, how stablecoins and crypto can help is because, for one, this is faster settlement and better cash flow. Obviously, stablecoins can move 24/7 and settle quickly, which can reduce waiting days for ACH and wires. That's why I was telling people earlier. I was like, yo, if you're a business, y'all should be accepting crypto stablecoins. Y'all should be, right? Number two, cross-border payments that could be cheaper and simpler, right? For international suppliers and contractors, stablecoins can reduce multiple intermediary bank fees, forex friction, and then delays from correspondent banks. So this fits with the CFO orchestration idea that I talked about earlier, choosing the best rail for each payment. And then number three, programmable payments and automation. Crypto rails support programmable workflows. So, paying automatically when an invoice is approved or when delivery is confirmed, right? When shit is confirmed, the payment should just go through, right? Once you get confirmation, it should just go through. Like, it shouldn't be like, oh, we got to wait 48 hours, 72 hours. Nah. We should just get it going right then and there. I don't care if it's Sunday night. I don't care if it's 5 o'clock in the morning. Like, it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter if it's off banking hours. So that's another thing. Number four, treasury flexibility, right? Because treasury, that's where a lot of money is tied up. So companies may hold some stable coins as always on liquidity for weekend after hour needs, rapid supplier payments, and moving collateral between venues. But treasury teams have to treat this like cash management, counterparty risk, custody, controls, etc. And then number five, tokenization and on-chain settlements is a longer-term play. So if more assets, invoices, receivables become tokenized, stablecoins can become the settlement layer, meaning paying for tokenized assets instantly, right? That's the payments embedded into the platform story, just with blockchain as the settlement back end. So this is why it's very, very important to start integrating these ideas within your business, okay? Within your business. So yeah. So the things that they got to manage, though, is, of course, stablecoin risk, compliance, accounting and tax purposes, custody, security, and liquidity reality. So, but at the end of the day, you need faster payments. We need faster payments and a way for shit to be more efficient. That's it.
Bingo.
That's it.
Bingo. No, this is a very interesting article. I'm gonna make sure I share this article in the Patreon. Because this was a gem right here. This is definitely something you're gonna want to go back to and read. So I'm gonna definitely share that in the Patreon. But yeah, so let's what we got? Let's talk about these digital IDs real quick. You want to talk about these digital IDs, D? This digital ID
IDs
situation. Yeah, we got this digital ID CBDCs risk turning US into surveillance state. So again, as I always ask y'all, are we gonna do something about it, or we just finna fuss and complain and throw out conspiracy theories and all that shit? I'm just wondering, because other than that, like this is an incredible headline because it got me to click on it. So let's talk about it though. So we got a U.S. representative whose name is Warren Davidson. A strong advocate for permissionless money and self-custody. He warned that recent U.S. crypto policy could unintentionally push the financial system toward heavy surveillance rather than freedom. He's particularly concerned that a new stablecoin focused law, which he's talking about the Genius Act, of course, may lay groundwork for something that functions like a central bank digital currency. Well, we told y'all that when they passed the bill. But I'll keep reading. So a digital identity system might come next that links financial accounts to identity in a way that forces permission from the government before people use their own money. Davidson frames this as a threat to privacy, financial autonomy, and the core promise of crypto, which is permissionless peer-to-peer money. So why this matters? So here's why this topic is a big deal. So privacy is under threat. So CBDCs, digital versions of a country's currency issued and controlled by the state, could allow total tracking of transactions and censorship. My thing is when I hear that, I'm like, well, isn't our online transactions or anything we do as far as like our bank account and like our bank statements, isn't that all on, like, that's my bank has my data. So if my bank sold my data, or if my bank has to give the IRS or the government access to my data, they can see my bank transactions. They do it all the time. And if you get caught up in a court case, you do something illegal, they're gonna go into your bank statements to see where you were spending money, what you was doing, to prove that you're guilty. So when I read this, I'm like, your account is already under surveillance. They already can view your account, but I guess they want y'all to know openly that we can do it now, even though they can do it now.
Yeah. They just admitting what they've been doing, man.
They just admitting what they've been doing. So I'm sorry, but I know some of y'all thought you had privacy and you think you have all this privacy. You don't. They are watching every single transaction, every single thing you do. They can see all of that. They can see all of that. What they're doing now is just taking more steps to get cash out of here, to phase cash out slowly but surely. They know it could take them 10, 20 years to completely phase cash out. They don't care. Their sole mission is to phase cash out. And they're going to do it. And this is just taking steps toward that. So you already have no privacy. I'm sorry to burst people's bubble, but you already don't have privacy. You have the illusion of privacy. You don't really have privacy. And I know some of y'all don't want to believe that, but it's true. You have the illusion of privacy. But so this could allow total tracking of transactions and censorship. Unlike Bitcoin or stablecoins on public blockchains, they could be built to let the government see everything people spend, save, or send. A CBDC isn't just digital cash. If designed without privacy, it could let authorities track every dollar you spend and where. Okay.
No, that's a fact.
If someone does an investigation and say one of your family members did something, but they need to check and see how was the funds moved around, they're going to check every single person that person is affiliated with, that they talk to on a daily basis. They check y'all bank account to see if y'all sent them money, wired them money, deposited money, or anything. So they already have access to do so.
Why do you think Robinhood and Cash App and all these cats, they just want to report shit? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's why you got. That's why that's why they report that, and you gotta pay taxes on all that shit now, because they sold all your shit. They sent all your shit to them, so they see everything you done did since Cash App became an app. They see everything. So the data. Yep. So digital ID systems. So let's talk about digital ID systems. So lawmakers fear that a future digital identity system could tie personal identity directly to financial access. So that means the government could require approval or compliance checks before you can use digital money. A big shift from today's crypto ethos of self-sovereignty. So imagine needing permission to use your own money just because your identity is linked by default to a digital dollar. That's the concern. This is that part would be different. That you can't just swipe all willy-nilly, but still at the same time, if Lil Durk, for example.
Okay.
Remember when he got arrested and they ended up catching him right before he got to wherever his private jet was, or on the way to the airport?
Yeah.
Okay, so had he went abroad, if the feds really wanted to, with as much evidence as they claim they have on him, couldn't they have just frozen his money? And he wouldn't have had access to it if he didn't like wire any money, if he didn't wire any money into some offshore accounts, but his main accounts here in the U.S. they could just freeze it.
They can.
So they have access now, but But the
Damn.
political debate in the U.S. So the warnings aren't just fringe opinions. Lawmakers from both sides have weighed in. So Warren Davidson says the Genius Act may undermine Bitcoin's permissionless promise and enable state surveillance. So Major Retailer Green also opposes the Genius Act, calling regulated stablecoins a backdoor to CBDCs and a loss of self-custody. So both point to the importance of self-custody and financial privacy if crypto is to remain decentralized and free. So how this fits into 2026 crypto policy. So this is not just theoretical, it ties into the broader crypto and financial policy landscape. So debates like the Genius Act versus the Clarity Act are shaping how digital assets are regulated in the US. So discussions around stablecoin CBDCs and digital identity intersect with Bitcoin's original value proposition of permissionless private money. If CBDCs or digital IDs are created without privacy safeguards, it changes how money works in society, potentially giving governments unprecedented oversight of individual transactions. So these debates aren't just policy stuff. They could determine whether our digital money today functions like the internet did in its early open days, or like a monitored financial highway. So that's huge for every crypto holder.
No, that is.
So yeah,
That's
yeah.
big. That's big. That's big as shit.
So self-custody. So it goes on and says that self-custody matters. CBDC systems could undermine self-custody, which is a core principle for many crypto users. Permissionless money versus permission money. So if financial systems become permission, it puts crypto philosophies at odds with state digital currency models. And then you have community advocacy is still relevant. So crypto advocates and government like Davidson are pushing back, meaning policy outcomes aren't predetermined and community awareness can influence debate. So we got to see how that goes, because this is a growing warning from U.S. lawmakers. They're getting pretty aggressive about this.
Yeah, because they want to be all up in your mix, man. They're gonna frame it as we want to make sure people ain't scamming, and like we were saying earlier, for safety and security.
This is what they also are running with to get people against it. It says that it's being sold as crypto regulation might actually be paving the way toward a surveillance financial system. So that's how they're going to frame it, to put so that they could get pushback from the people, like they're trying to spy on us, blah blah blah. They're already spying on you, like they already are watching everything you do.
They know where you're traveling. They know where you went the past 48 hours. They know everything, fam.
They got their own algorithm. They got the algorithm put out. So if you say certain words, it triggers it so that they could just start listening to your conversation. They're like, hold up, she said something about a bomb. Go over there. What she said? Turn it up. Yeah. Oh, okay. He said something about automatic weapons. Go turn. What's he talking about over there? He's talking about Afghanistan. Turn it up. Turn his phone call up. That's all they're doing. They have their own algorithm. Gang. They shit probably look like social media, but they spying on the whole world.
Then you'll get
it's crazy.
Then they're gonna be like, oh, it's a matter of national security. Why are we doing this? You know what I'm saying? That's why. Well, I don't want to get too deep into it because I know we on TikTok, but after 9/11 happened, going through the airport was a little bit different, because some of y'all remember how we used to travel before 9/11 happened, fam. Now you gotta go to the airport 2 and 3 hours beforehand. You know what I'm saying? Like before your flight. Used to literally. This is how it was. If y'all don't know, if some of y'all youngins don't know, before you went on a flight, you used to be there like 20 minutes before your flight, 20, 30 minutes before your flight, and be good. Your family could walk you through the gate, everything. You know what I'm saying? Can't do that shit no more. I mean, you couldn't do that shit for a while now, but yeah, fam, they want to be in your mix, and they want you to waste as much time as possible doing whatever else. So
that's a fact.
They doing it. They've been doing this shit in China for so long.
Yep. So this next article. So yeah, this one, another one that you found. So 1 in 3 young adults turn to friends and family as costs rise. So we're just trying to point out how bad the economy is. Because I don't think people, some of y'all are doing really good, or you're doing well for yourself, and a lot of other people are struggling, gang. So yeah, let's talk about it.
So yeah. Now let's definitely talk about it. So rising costs are hitting everyone, but different age groups cope differently. So they did the research. They did a survey of over a little bit over 2,300 people, in September, and they say that daily expenses are the number one problem across generations, and healthcare costs have become a major pressure point. The big difference is young adults are more likely to lean on friends and family, while older adults are more likely to just cut spending. So here, let me give you some numbers. They said that 50% daily pressure. So about half of all consumers say daily living expenses are their biggest financial challenge. Older people cut extras while younger people try to find more income or support. And then 80% healthcare burden. So they said 8 in 10 Gen Z say that healthcare costs are at uh our least moderate burden, right? About double for baby boomers. So nearly a 2/3 overall say that healthcare is a meaningful financial weight. And then 33% of informal borrowing. So 1 in 3 Gen Z zillennials borrowed money from friends or family during rising costs. Meanwhile, 7 in 10 boomers just cut spending all the way together. And only about half of Gen Z does that. And then another key note was nearly 1 in 5 people delayed a doctor visit in the last 3 months because of costs, and some skip tests or reduce medications, more common among younger adults. So this is telling you the state of everything. Those numbers right there. So there's some things you could do, so because we just pointed out the problem. So what's the solution, right? So things you could start doing is build a tiny shock fund. So put like a goal of like a couple $100, before you aim to that 3 to 6 month fund that you need. Even automate it like $10 to $25 per week. I know some of you guys probably put that into crypto or whatever you invest it, but put some dry powder to the side, even if it's $5-10, right? And then they say cut the top 3 leaks, not 30 small ones. So that's usually what's the highest thing? Food delivery, Postmates, Uber Eats, you know what I'm saying? That just add up quick, and it's expensive now. Uber Eats is
hella high
shit now.
Both of them, DoorDash and Uber Eats. I ain't gonna lie. I just broke down because I was DoorDashing so damn much. Just anything, groceries, whatever, right? I ended up just paying for the goddamn subscription. Y'all, I ain't gonna lie. I paid for the damn thing for the year. I think it's like $98. I ended up just paying for it in the summertime because it just got that ridiculous. Sometimes I just don't got time to go to the store. So I'll be having to, use DoorDash or Instacart, and it just made more sense to go ahead and just spend $100 because I'm gonna spend it over time anyway. So they getting everybody, gang. They getting us. They taxing.
Yep, they are. So, car insurance, phone plan, impulse buying, and they say use the fixed weekly spending rule. So, after your big stuff like your rent, your utilities, minimum debt payments, set one weekly number for everything else. If you spend it early, you wait. This stops creating overspending. You know what I'm saying? And then they talk about healthcare cost protection, right? Ask for cash price and payment plans before treatment when possible, right? Use urgent care versus the ER when appropriate, right? Start eating better, start exercising, you know what I mean? So you can avoid going to the, doctor as much, right? I don't, don't nobody here like going to the doctor, especially if they got to come out of pocket, right? Because I know some business owners.
Y'all better just buy fruit, start juicing, get y'all some vegetables. That's what I be doing. I try to avoid, because if I go, you know what I'm saying, when it's time to go to the doctor, I only do holistic doctors now. I don't do your typical doctor. Hell no. Because all they finna do, I'm getting up there in age. They finna start doing all them unnecessary tests and shit, just trying to find something wrong. No, fuck y'all. I'm good.
Unnecessary tests, and then they want to start giving prescriptions for shit. That's gonna fuck you up one way or another. You know what I'm saying?
And that's a deep conversation because I don't, you know what I'm saying? It's so much facts out there regarding going to these regular doctors, but I ain't gonna go there because I don't want to offend nobody. But but yeah, just know, gang, like it's totally fine if you want to do both. Some people do both. They still have their regular doctor, and they also have you know, they go to a holistic doctor. So you know,
Yeah.
if you want to do both, that's cool too. I'm just saying, make sure you got two opinions and not just listen, because these doctors are trained. That's what they went to medical school. Teaches them how to make as much money for that fucking hospital or, you know, private practice as possible.
You
That's
said
what
it right
they
there. Practice.
maximizing your insurance. Maximizing your insurance game.
You said it right there. They're practicing. They're practicing medicine. You know what I'm saying?
Practicing. There
A
we
lawyer
go.
practices law, right? So
Practice.
that's right
They
there.
told
Practice.
that word tracking, boy. Should have been paying attention.
So yeah. So if you have access, you know, look into HSA accounts. You know, HSA accounts are probably, you know, cheaper. I know, you know,
Yeah.
when I was working before I had HSA account, I just let it build up, and then if I
Yeah.
needed to do something, just swipe the card and you just pay for it right then and there. And then
Yeah.
another thing, avoid high interest debt spirals. So if you must borrow, avoid those payday loans, because those payday loans, those should be a bitch, man. You know what I'm saying? Because
Phew, that
this should be
interest is
like
crazy.
interest is that interest is illegal, fam. It's illegal.
Yeah, shit should definitely be illegal.
That
That
shit
shit
is illegal.
crazy.
So, you know, if you already have a credit card, prioritize paying down the highest APR first. And then other things you could do is create revenue streams for yourself, right? So just simple shit. I'm gonna just give you a list of some simple shit that anybody could do. You know, start cleaning. You know, start with homes or offices, lawn care, snow shoveling. It's the winter season. You know what I'm saying? Shit. When I was younger, I used to knock on the door and be like, "Yo, you want me to shovel your driveway? $30. Bam." You know what I'm saying? Car
Making extra
detailing.
money everywhere. Yeah.
Exactly. Moving help, junk removal, you know, basic technology for older people, you know, and just start like that. You could put ads out on Craigslist for nothing, right? You could do that shit. What else? Flips low items. You could go to the thrift store, get some very, very cheap items and flip them online, right? Go on Facebook Marketplace, eBay, what's the other spot? Whatnot, right? Start selling shit online, right? So there's so many different ways you could start, you know, either spending less or creating more streams for yourself, you know, just simply, right? But if you don't want to leave the crib, you know, put an ad out and be like, yo, I do resumes for people. You know what I'm saying? I'll do your resume. Or go to LinkedIn, Canva flyers. Like there's so many things that AI could help facilitate you, you know, just to make extra income, even if it's an extra $50, $100 a month. You got to start somewhere, right? You got to start somewhere. So this is just give you some ideas on what people could do, because I know some people in the chat try to find some other ways to, you know, create more income for themselves, and this is just give you an idea. So yeah.
100, man, damn. It's sad though. It's sad out here because it's like I know a lot of, you know, people I grew up with, you know, if at one point in time had to move back home, you know what I'm saying, to save up, get it together. It's crazy out here. It's just mad expensive. It's crazy because people have to choose between, you know, having a roof over, especially if you're single, having a roof over your head or having a vehicle to drive because you can't afford both. So
Yeah,
it's like, you know, pray to God you got a remote job so that you don't really need transportation. But if you don't have a remote job, you need reliable transportation to get to work. So it's like, you know, Ubers and shit add up. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't live in a city. Everybody can't catch the bus or trains. That's not always an option for people. So, man, it's wicked out here, bro. It's wicked. So,
it's wild. It's wild. And
pray
shout out to
things get
Daniel.
better.
Shout out to Daniel. He said they printed $3 trillion in gaslight Gen Z. I'm 27-year-old Gen Z, XRP. We won't have Social Security. Hell yeah. They said Social Security going to be up out of here by 2032 or 2034 or some shit like that. That's going to be a wrap. It's going to be a wrap.
Yep.
So
yeah, man. So let's talk about this MicroStrategy stock. So they faces January 15th MCSI index deadline after 50% drop in 2025. What's in 2026? So what's going on with MicroStrategy stock, man?
So your boy,
they stay in the headlines about something crazy.
Yo, man, because I mean that's their main goal is just buy Bitcoin. So the article states that MicroStrategy had a terrible 2025, down 50% on the year and far more from its peak. And now investors are worried it could be kicked out of the MSCI index after a rule change. So that matters because Index funds might be forced to sell, which could cause another big drop. Shit. Microsoft, not Microsoft, MicroStrategy closed December 31st at $151, down 2% on the day. It hit a 52-week low. It's down 65% from its peak. It was $450 in July. Did y'all hear me?
What?
It was $450. It was $450 in July. MicroStrategy. It was $151 yesterday when the market closed. So,
that's bad. I mean, the big players got out. You know, JP Morgan and all them, you know, they got out very quietly. Well, we covered it though.
So yeah, absolutely.
They got up out of there. Them and a couple other people.
So the article ties the damage partly to Bitcoin's weakness. It mentions Bitcoin being around 87K. The big catalyst, the key risk is January 15th deadline tied to the potential MSCI index exclusion. Why would the MSCI exclude it? So the article says that the new index rule classifies digital asset treasury companies with 50% of total assets. What happened?
Somebody said his name, Michael Failure.
Jesus.
Yeah, some of y'all is so freaking funny, gang. He called that man Mike. He said Michael Failure, new name. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. Lord have mercy.
Jeez.
Michael Failure. Okay.
What was
Go
I
ahead.
at?
Let's talk about Michael Failure's company. What's going on?
So the MSCI. So the MSCI, why would they exclude it? So it says that, you know, they said that companies with more than 50% of total assets in crypto as an investment fund rather than normal operating companies. So if the Microsoft is treated like an investment fund, it may no longer qualify for certain MSCI indexes. Damn. And why exclusion matters is because JP Morgan is cited as saying exclusion could lead up to 8.8 billion of outflows, meaning forced selling and index-related selling pressure. Shit. So other reasons sentiment is bad, but besides that is because share dilution. So MicroStrategy keeps issuing shares to buy more Bitcoin. The article mentions a planned $11 billion ATM program, so at the market share sales. And then it talks about the MNAV below. So the MNAV below means that the stock is trading at a discount to the value of the underlying asset, mainly Bitcoin holdings, instead of the usual premium MicroStrategy sometimes had. Damn. So that's a sentiment hit. Investors aren't paying extra for the Sailor Bitcoin wrapper anymore. Shit. So the bullish, but not all hope is lost. The bullish argument in the article says even if Bitcoin fell from 87 to 74K, the value of strategy Bitcoin holdings will still be around $50 billion. A source called Bull Theory claims that would still exceed liabilities, implying no insolvency risk from that move alone. It also says that MicroStrategy does not use margin loans, has no collateral backed Bitcoin debt, and has no liquidation triggers directly tied to Bitcoin's price. So what's in 2026? So bear case would be the MSCI exclusion, potential for selling, continued dilution, and the bull case would be the company's Bitcoin holdings still comfortably cover liabilities, and then institutional interests might be returning. So, damn.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry.
You're dying. You dying over there.
Because me and KB was on the same type time. Because somebody named Dirty Snicker, he said Michael Saylor's probably done more than any of you guys ever will. If you don't got that man nuts, bro, good gracious, give him his nuts back.
Stop glazing. What the youngins say? Stop glazing, fam. Stop glazing.
KB said, "Does he know you? Like, don't he know who you is?"
Word up, bro.
It was funny. It was just a joke. Yeah, That's probably a bot though. Mad funny. Not funny.
Taking it first. Stop glazing, fam.
Oh man. All right, so we got a clip to play real quick, y'all. So we got Scott Bassett. Man.
He said, I don't know what glazing means. Oh shit!
Oh man!
Shit!
God,
you know how?
All right, so
just to give them an idea. You know how you glaze a donut so the donut could look good and sugary. That put 2 and 2 together. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Make it look delicious.
Yeah. Stop glazing. But
must be some of that millennial. No, that's past millennial. That's the next one.
Yeah, that's that. What's that new shit?
You tried that. Yeah, that's that new shit. That ain't We ain't never said no new. That's that.
I ain't never said no shit like that.
Yeah, we ain't never said glazing. Hell no. All right, so hell no. Fuck out of here. It's all right, gang. That's your man's. That must be your cousin or something.
Oh,
that must be your cousin.
Somebody said stop pipe jumping. Yeah, somebody said stop pipe jumping.
Yeah. Better be glad my nephew ain't in here with his little slang. He'd have fried your ass. All right, so we got Scott Bassett. So 2025 is setting the table. The feast and banquet will be in 2026. So Scott Bassett was on Fox News talking real nice. So let's listen to the clip real quick. It's about 33 seconds. It's not long.
Okay. No, I can't hear it. Gotta.
All right, I'm gonna have to share it again. Hold on. My man Zarico.
What up?
All right.
I would categorize 2025.
Yeah.
We had some important victories, some important policy announcements, some important movement. But as I've described it, 2025 was setting the table, and especially on the economy, I think the feast and the banquet's going to be in 2026.
Feast and the banquet. Overall, I mean, inflation, the number ending the year for inflation was great, 2.7%. Mm-hmm. What's still out there is the Supreme Court weighing in on tariffs. What do you think about 2026?
Well, the tariff announcement is certainly going to be consequential.
So yeah, Scott Bassett. So he talking pretty greasy, y'all. So I just wanted to share that with y'all. I thought that was interesting. You know, he said 2025 is setting the table. The feast and the banquet will be in 2026. So let's see if he ends up being right. But that was very interesting. What did Kirk say? It's interesting. They say MicroStrategy has no debt, but filed 8K that said they may sell BTC if it falls to 74K. You know, Kirk. These people report what they want to report. They have a narrative to push, so you know how that go.
They do.
You know how that go. But yeah, y'all, that was all the updates that we had. That was all the articles that we had. Yes. So listen, I'm gonna tell y'all this: if you own XRP, if you're serious about DeFi, or if you want real yield, not just speculation, then you might want to hop into this Flare Masterclass. You might want to be learning how to move over there on that Flare network. It's not going nowhere. That's what's gonna give you that edge in 2026, because DeFi is getting regulated in 2026, and you're gonna need to know how to maneuver in DeFi. So make sure you get in that Flare class. So I know some of y'all really don't know what the Flare network is, so I'll briefly just kind of touch on it. So Flare is a smart contract capable capable blockchain. Capable blockchain built for real world financial utility. So it combining Ethereum compatible smart contracts, highly secure consensus, native interoperability with assets like XRP, LTC, Doge, and more. Real world asset tokenization and cross-chain liquidity. So Flare it's not just another L1. It's designed for actual use cases, and not hype cycles. So you can earn yield by holding and staking your FXRP on there. So FXRP is a wrapped interest-bearing version of XRP. That's all it is. So positions in Flare suddenly can generate returns for you rather than just waiting for price appreciation. So you could already be making money off of FXRP. And like I tell people all the time, really just educate yourself on DeFi. I'm not saying throw all your XRP in the Flare network, but if you want to throw in a couple dollars and just learn how to maneuver over there, that way when it is time to go actually earn some good yield over there, when we do get that high price appreciation, you done already educated yourself. Because a lot of people gonna try and jump in, they're gonna wait for regulations, and they're not gonna really know. They're gonna halfway know what they're doing. So we're talking about your money, your wealth here. You don't want to halfway know what you're doing when you getting into these liquidity pools. You want to be careful with that. So yeah, if you hold an XRP right now, why let it sit when you could be earning some yield on it, or at least learning how to earn yield on it. I'm always gonna stress educating yourself first before you go all in. So yeah, make sure y'all get in that masterclass. The early bird ends tomorrow. But that class is gonna be on January 11th, 2026 at 6 p.m. Okay.
Yep.
January 11th, 2026 at 6 p.m. So make sure y'all get in that class. The link for that is in the description. It's in the bio. So make sure y'all click on that link tree, hop in that class. Other than that, man, join the community. We got a Patreon, a BlockNation community Patreon. Make sure y'all join that. We also have that DeFi Patreon as well. It's 2 separate Patreons, but yeah, for those that want to learn DeFi, we got that as well, where just videos, step-by-step videos that we go over, to help people get into some of these pools, deploying some of these pools. So it's pretty active in there. I think the videos are very helpful. And Cecil breaks stuff down thoroughly. So like I said, education is going to be very, very clearly after the way folks been acting the last 24 to 48 hours. Clearly, education is very, very important in this space. Jesus Christ. It's fundamental. Yep. It is fundamental. It is key. If you want to be successful in the crypto space, you want to be successful in DeFi, you got to educate yourself. No way around that. So, but yeah, man, we appreciate y'all tuning in. That's pretty much all the updates that we had for this evening. Hopefully, we get some hype tomorrow. It's Friday. So let's see how Friday go tomorrow. But, Happy New Year's to everybody. Make sure y'all be safe.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, I know some of y'all recovering from yesterday. All that drinking and stuff.
New year, new me. Remember, new year, new me. And then soon as the third week of January, going into February. Well,
You know what I'm saying?
Old habits hard to kick. Let's create some new habits. Let's create some better habits. For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So hey, stay positive all year. Stay away from negative people. Stay away from people that drain your energy. You know what I'm saying? Try and stay around people that's upbeat. You know what I'm saying? Even on those droopy, sad days, you know what I'm saying? They still trying and have a positive outlook on life. Stay away from negativity. All right. Other than that, y'all, we go up from here. Shout out to y'all forever.